Hey everybody, let's talk about using quotes. In your response piece, I do want you to use quotes in your paper as you are responding to the text that you've chosen to respond to. It's not enough just to write a paper where you respond to a text and just use your own words the whole time. A reader is going to want to see that you have read it uh, and see that you have specific parts of the text that you want to specifically respond to. So here's an example of a paragraph. This is some academic writing here, and I want to draw your attention right to the purple parts. You'll see verb marker for argument. The term verb marker has lots of different names. It's often referred to as an attributive tag or an author tag, but it's some kind of verb that shows what the writer of the text is doing. In this case, he is contending that. So this writer has chosen to say contends that. And who contends that? We can go back to the green part. Professor Richard Weaver of the University of Chicago. That information is important if your reader does not know who Weaver is. Let's skip to the part after the purple part. There's the quote, the actual quote itself. So it's in blue, and those are the exact words from the text, and you'll see there's quotation marks around it, these little squiggly lines right before the word the and right after the word mind. That is a quote, but you'll see that a quote doesn't just mean the blue part. A quote also needs the green part and the purple part. It needs all three of those parts together. You'll also see in red a page citation. If you're responding to a text from the internet, from a website, then there are no page numbers on the internet, so I wouldn't use I don't think you need to use a parenthetical citation if there is no page number. If there is a page number, say from a book, a magazine, or an academic journal article that you did find on the internet but actually has pages, then you would want to use that. The part in gray is very important. It's where you are responding or connecting to the quote itself. So you don't just want to put the green, the purple, and the blue part, and there's my quote with my language. A reader would read that and say, so what? So the gray part is where you get to explain why you added that quote. At the very top, you'll see a topic sentence in yellow. Yours for the response piece will probably sound something more like, I also agree with Dweck on blank, and then the rest of your paragraph would be you explaining why you agree with Dweck on that idea. So here's some more information on how to punctuate quotes. If you were to quote an entire sentence, then you would do it like this. This is one way you could do it. According to Dr. Joe Smith, comma, and then there's the whole sentence with quotation marks around it. The comma is used after the introductory phrase, which is according to Joe Smith. The quote is capitalized because the word many is capitalized because that's a whole sentence from the text. And the period comes after the parenthetical citation. Again, if there is no page number, then the period would just come in between the word health and the closed quotation mark. Here's how to quote by making a sentence part of your own sentence. So Dr. Joe Smith argues that many good people became vegetarians because they believe vegetarianism is uniquely conducive to good health. That part got chopped off there, sorry. You'll see that this part grammatically flows with this part. Dr. Joe Smith argues that many people become. So in that case, we just put the M in brackets and make it small. And then here's our last example for a brief quote, which these work really well for response pieces and rhetorical analyses, which we'll write a rhetorical paper later. The quote is just non-dietary factors. It's just two words. And the rest of it is Dr. Joe Smith claims that the cause of vegetarians' longer life may be non-dietary factors. You're not exactly taking the words out of context. This sentence still treats those words fairly. So it's not misrepresenting Dr. Joe Smith. We're actually quoting him in a fair way. So always use your own words to integrate a quote. I think that's the most important lesson I want you to learn from this video. In this video, we've seen 4 different ways that that has been done. The first way is Professor Richard Weaver of the University of Chicago contends that, and then the quote comes. We've also seen according to Dr. Joe Smith, comma, and then the full sentence quote comes. We've seen Dr. Joe Smith argues that, and then the sentence integrated into the writer's own sentence comes with the first letter of the first word D capitalized with brackets around it. And then we've also seen Dr. Joe Smith claims that, and then there was the non-dietary factors, the short brief quote at the end. So when you turn in your response pieces, I will look through and give you some feedback on how you're doing when it comes to quoting. Good luck!